max. I just knew. Oh no, I've got the spectating bug. Oh no, I've got this janky person's curse applied across the screen. Oh well, I'll ignore it. I'll ignore it just for the draft. So here we are. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, for game number 1 between Qwerty and Nemiga for the Dota 2 Champions League 2021. Let's see who's going to get the good start. Obviously, Qwerty have been not performing too great so far. I don't think they've got a single victory yet. Even Bait managed to actually take the victory off them, and not that I'm saying Bait's terrible, but Bait isn't that great. Even though we will love Dendy, Dendy's great. His team's just not very successful, which is sad. But even still, we'll see how they're going to do today. Maybe we'll have ones have just been warm up for him. Who knows? Or maybe Nemiga just going to look to grab a couple of easy points here and secure themselves a little bit better in the early parts of the group stage. Beastmaster and Alina gets taken out. I mean, both of these two teams have actually been picking up Lina quite a lot, so it makes sense, that ban. You missed Dendy stomping noobs? Don't we all, man? Don't we all? Remember, like 7 years ago or something, like Dendy was everywhere. It was like, oh, it was so good. I mean, you still see him every now and then, like a video gets posted up of him playing Pudge or something, and he does stomp a game, but it's so rare that actually happens. He's kind of like a one-trick pony now. But that's just the nature of the game. It happens. Or of Talos for PR, yeah. Stealing the cheese. Everyone loves that. The best cheese steal in Dota history. Forget about the Aegis. The Brood and the Mars also gets banned, and Qwerty going immediately in for the Omni Knight. So I'm going to guess that they're looking to grab the Sven as their second hero to just pair up. Obviously, it's just a pretty standard combination. Nemiga snap up the Shadow Demon and Monkey King in response. So the Monkey King, it's not really too great playing up against the Sven. I mean, if he gets a decent amount of farm and he can actually survive long enough to get his Jingu stacks online, then he can sort of stand toe-to-toe against the Sven. So it makes sense in that regard. So maybe they won't feel too bad if Qwerty do decide to snap it up right now, which I assume they will. Oh, they don't. Okay, they actually decide to go for the bat instead. That's quite interesting. Just choosing to completely ignore that Sven. So I assume that's got the flex then to be the off lane or the mid. I think most of the time, like 80% of games now, Bat Rider goes exclusively towards the mid. And then 19% is the off, and then there's like probably less than 1% of games where it's like a position 5 or something like that. It can work. I think the only pro I've seen pull that off is No Tail, but he plays a lot of janky position 5s, so I'm sure it's probably going to be a core role. Pretty standard. Clinks also gets taken out. I'm not really sure where Clink stands in this current patch. I mean, his Burn and Barrage does seem strong, but you really need like a team lineup consisting around going with that skill, because sometimes it just feels so mediocre. You've got to be in the right place at the right time to get a good amount of connections off. And then the Maelstrom procs everything. It can be quite decent. But it gets banned anyway. Yeah, he definitely will make it try to work. But I mean, that's just the beauty of OG and their whole lineup, is that they will try anything. As long as if they're vibing, they're having, you know, they're just playing their game, they can pick any hero in any role and they can make it work. It's why they managed to win 2 TIs in a row. We'll see if they're going to be able to win 3. I don't know if it's that hopeful. Their lineup is a bit skew-whiff at the moment, but you never know. It could happen. It could very well happen. It'd be nice to see it. Yeah, man. Anno and Jerks. They were the best ones. It would have been great. Did Thompson actually step down, or is he sort of back, isn't he? He didn't really properly step down, or did he step down? I can't remember now. I don't know. Winning, he doesn't want to ruin his 100% TI win rate. You do 2 TIs, you win them both, back to back as well. The best sort of stat card that you can have. I mean, I wouldn't mind just leaving it at that. That is pretty good. Pretty damn good. So Qwerty just purely focusing all their second phase bans towards the opposing mid laner. The Quap, the Storm, as well as the Invoker. I suppose they're all heroes which can lane relatively effectively against the Bat. I mean, the Queen can obviously just blink backwards. In the laning phase, the Storm can get ran down pre-6, but as soon as he gets that 6, there's like hardly any way that the Batrider can ever get that kill. It'd be so difficult. The Invoker, though, I suppose if he messes up his skills, he could get ran down, but even if he should have a decent amount of survivability. But even still, the Slark is to grab there from Nemiga, so it's definitely not a POS 1 Monkey King then. Most likely going to go into the mids. In which case, if that is going to be the way those heroes are, then this Batrider mid will actually work out pretty damn decently. Because it's pretty easy just once you get like 5 or 6 napalm stacks on the Monkey King, you could just Firefly and just constantly go around him. So the turn rate in the Monkey King, he can't even get any Jingu stacks online. Pretty brutal. See if that is actually going to be the go-for plan here from Qwerty. Man, this cursor is really annoying me. I mean, you actually can't see it right now because it's behind the portrait, but it keeps flying around. It's so aggravating. Stupid bugs, man. Too many of them. They do go for the Lion. So got their support duo already set up. Probably going to see him grab their position 1 now, just so the hero pool doesn't get limited even further. You want someone who can lane, or well, not lane, but play effectively up against the Slark in the later stages of the game. I'm actually going to go for a gyro. I mean, it's not like it's an amazing counter to a Slark or anything. I don't think he even counters it at all. No, he's just I'm just going to roll with the gyro. I guess they're just happy to carry on playing with that, despite the fact they're going up against the Slark. Pangolier also gets picked up from Nemiga. So, very possible this could just be the support Pangolier, which a lot of teams have been prioritizing as of yet. Because if it's not a support Pango, then that means they've already got their 3 cores secure. And their last support, which looks like it would be the position 5 in that case, would be the last pick, which just seems like a massive waste. So, probably going to be a position 5 Pango. The 4 on the Shadow Demon, the mid Monkey King, and the Slark for the carry. So just looking for their offlaner next. Meanwhile, Qwerty, yeah, either their offlaner or their mids, all dependent on where they're feeling comfortable placing this Batrider. But I mean, if it's going to be Monkey King mid, I think they'd be happy putting the bat against him. Pretty decent lane setup. And Qwerty removing the Tiny. So if they're removing the Tiny then I think they're guessing that this is like a Monkey King offlane, or maybe a Pangolier offlane as support Monkey. Because I think it was a PSG LGD which done the position 5 Monkey King. Or was it position 4 Monkey King? I think it was position 4 Monkey King, wasn't it? And then he built Mage Slayer, and then just his Wukong's command just reduced everyone's magic damage output. It was pretty strong. I don't think they actually even won that game, but it seemed kind of cool. It did seem cool. Maybe that is what's on the cards here for Nemiga. We'll have to wait and see. Sounds like it could be good. We're still just thinking about what is they want to ban out of these fun heroes. They're going to remove the Night Stalker, so they are kind of thinking this is going to be a bat mid them. And Night Stalker is always just a massive pain in the arse in the current patch. Like, if you could just immediately go straight for the Shadow Demon or something, you remove any sort of save chance to the side of Nemiga, keep him silenced up. It would be brutal.
10 seconds.
Mage Slayer, it's slightly more popular. It's not like you see it in every single game or anything now, but it is a lot more popular than it was for sure. But yeah, it's not like to the point where it's super strong, but it does have its uses. All depends on like the enemy lineup and such. It's a very situational item. So they even ban out the Tide. So were they thinking? If you ban out the Tide, then obviously that's a target towards the position 3. But would they really have ran a position 3 Tiny? I don't know. I think it's been an extremely long time since I've seen a 3 Tiny. You more see him as like either a mid or the position 4, but then even then he's just very rarely makes an appearance. You can see one final ban here from Nemiga. Still got a dumpler of their reserve time yet as well. They barely touched it at all. And maybe they want to just look to try and remove another sort of teamfight ultimate based offlane hero from the side of Qwerty. So the Mars is gone, the Tide's gone. What other sort of position 2s could they go for? What have they actually been prioritising first previously? The Qwerty. They've ran the Axe a couple of times, but that was a little while ago. I've done a Centaur as well, a Brewmaster. Do one of those. I actually decided to get rid of the Death Prophet. So just both of their last bans just focusing towards heroes which have a built-in silence mechanic. So just want to make sure they can actually get their spells off. Like the Pangolier, if he gets silence, he can't roll up. And if he's a support, these are going to be so useless. Could have thought SD was 5 and Pango 3 covering the bases. Yeah, it could have been. It definitely could have been.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I'm definitely leaning that this is a 5 Pango, in my opinion. I'm relatively confident about that. Relatively. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong. This is the last pick here for Qwerty. Only got 20 seconds of reserve time. What is going to be their offlane hero? Or possibly mid if they want to put the bat in the off, but I really don't see the reason why they would do that. Maybe like a Darkseer. Darkseer's been really quite popular as well in this current patch. Wouldn't be too bad of a shout. They're actually going to go for the Lycan instead. Okay, so Lycan we saw a lot shortly after 7.3 actually came out. Everyone was doing the Zoo strat with the Helm of the Overlord. But it sort of dropped off pretty quickly. It was kind of cool to start with, but then people figured out how to play around it and such. So you didn't really see that build come out very often. But even still, Qwerty have grabbed the Lycan as their final hero. So we'll see what it is, where they're going to put it. It probably will still be in the off lane, then just going for the standard Helm of the Overlord straight away. Not even brown boots or anything like that. Just rush that item straight up. There'll be Lycan, Lion laning up against Slark, Pango, probably? Which isn't too bad. I mean, the Lycan might suffer a little bit, because the Pangolier with the Swashbuckle and the Shield Crash will probably be able to do delete the wolves of the Lycan pretty easily. So it's going to be relatively difficult for him to actually gain a decent amount of CS at the starting parts of the game. They're just using up all their reserve time now. They don't just rush into their final pick. Want to make sure they get the exact right hero that they're going to need. And they're actually going to go for the Abaddon. Okay, so then it is actually a core Pangolier then. The Abaddon will be the 5. Obviously, I don't actually know the... follow these teams super well. So looking at the names, I wouldn't have a clue which role was actually going to which. I'll have to wait and see who just runs towards what lane. But yeah, it makes sense that the Monkey King would be in the mid then, the Slark carry, the Pangolier would be the 3, the Shadow Demon would be the 4, the Abaddon would be the 5. And then obviously in the other squad at the side of Qwerty, the Gyro would be the 1, the Bat Rider for the mid, the Lycan the off, the Lion for position 4, and Fezor for the 5, and the Omni Knight. Abaddon's Bat Rider. Yeah, it's always a good counter. Purge off the Napalm stack, purge off the Flaming Lasso. Good way to allow the re-engage in the fight. Even just purge off all of the disables coming out from the Lion and the Gyro as well. So it's a decent save mechanic that they've got on the back lines. As well as the fact that they also have the Shadow Demon as well. So on your support duo, you've got saves on both of them. So it's going to be pretty difficult for Qwerty to get an effective initiation without either of these two supports around to get the save. So it's already quite awkward for Qwerty to take these easy pick-off fights. So I think I'm going to be leaning slightly more towards the Nemiga side at this point. But I think now actually it seems like this is going to be a 5 Abaddon and the Pangolier is going off to the off lane. Then Eru's lane on the Lycan should be a little bit simpler than what I thought previously. Obviously, the Swashbuckle isn't just going to be deleting his wolves every time. So that seems good. So there's a Pango mid. Is Ironcrad the... I thought Ironcrad was the 4. Is he the mid? Shit, man. It's been so long since I've actually watched the Nemiga game. I don't think I've ever seen a Qwerty game. But yeah, last time I done a Nemiga game was like 2 months ago. Jesus. I can't really remember what their basis of their lineup is. Get rid of that player perspective. There we go. Right. There we go. There we go. Zoom out. Man, that player perspective. Why was he so zoomed in? This is what his perspective was. Why is he zoomed in this far? That's horrible. Ugh. How could you play the game like that? You couldn't see anything what was going on. Absolutely mad. They will still pause to immediately start things off. Always going to be connection issues. Because that's the standard. What's a game without a disconnect, eh? We all suffer through this in all of our pubs. Anyway, here we go with... I should say here we go, yeah. I mean, he's rejoined, but they're not even starting. Are you even going to go with his rejoins? Or is he still having sort of connection issues? Could very well be the case. But yeah, I think I'm definitely leaning towards Nemiga's draft in this game. It just feels like they've got the answers to what Qwerty want to be doing in these fights. And the Chosen One and the Slark can just be able to just run around and do whatever the hell they want, especially with Ironclad just rolling his way through, disrupting up the team fight even more. I mean, if you could get a decent amount of control in the Lycan as well, just keep him stun locked, and then the maneuverability of the hero is just completely hindered. That's quite the trail. That'd be a very long journey. Woo. Not sure what that journey would even be for. Damn. Still pause. Wasn't Qwerty the one that disconnected and rejoined? No, it was Ironclad that disconnected. Well, he does not need to go. He's just chilling. Yeah, Qwerty want to go. They're like, what the hell are we waiting for? He's here. Maybe they're having like Discord issues or something like that. It's normally the case. Always something that goes wrong. Grandmaster Pango. Yeah, expecting to see some great things from my crowd this game.
You need to be like a shark.
It should hopefully play well. I mean, Capu's saying it's a mid Pango. So if Ironclad is playing the mid, then it'd be Pango versus the Bat. In which case, the Pango should be able to disengage relatively easily. Obviously, you can just swashbuckle away when you get a few napalm stacks on you. Chill, wait for it to all reset. It could be the game plan. I mean, actually, yeah, it definitely is. Actually, it could be... Yeah, Ironclad's already bought his magic stick. So, very most likely to be the mid player. 100% off. But damn, what the hell is this pause about? They didn't even give a reason. They just said 1 min. It's been a min. It's been more than a min. I feel me aging. Don't make me wait any longer. Already had to wait for the 15-minute of Dota TV delay. That's far enough. We still the Gyro Omni playing up against the Monkey King Shadow Demon. They should be pretty safe themselves. Obviously, the Heavenly Grace doing a dispel as well, be able to get rid of any Jingu stacks that are on either one of them, give them a bit of protection that way. Which one has the longest attack range, Monkey or Gyro? The 365 for the Gyro, and the Monkey King is like 250 or something like that. Oh no, 300. So it's 65 range difference between the two of them, which isn't that much, as I'm sure we all know.
Oh, I feel better already.
50 doesn't really make much difference. I mean, sometimes it feels like when you're playing Pudge, Hook, if it was just like 10 units further, it would have grounded it. But anyway, as soon as we start going, and there's a disconnect from the other side. A toilet! No, toilet! You just pause that entire time. You wait for them to unpause and say to go, and then you go to the toilet. Oh my days. Very poor planning. What's with this man's bladder? Seriously. Get Monkey King a broom handle, and then he's longer. Yeah, yeah. It always feels rough then, but a melee hero outranging a ranged hero. It doesn't sound right. It does not sound right. That's how the game changes, which is always nice. It may just force Comart to build into a Dragon Lance, perhaps. Probably not. Be a massive waste of gold just for that reason.
This is gonna sting. That was lame.
There you go. Right, we're paused. We're going. And it doesn't look like we're paused again. He's back from the toilet. Alrighty, here we are. For game number 1 between Qwerty and Nemiga. Let's see who's going to be able to come out on top. Like, Qwerty desperately need to get some wins on the board because they are suffering super badly on the points. I don't think they've taken a single game yet.
That's what I'm talking about.
So they're really hindered. Wow. They pinged that out on the side of Qwerty that there was a ward there on that exact spot before they even saw it get placed. Like, you can't... It was exactly on the spot. That was incredible. They just know. They know exactly where it was going to be. The second one Not off the map. Well, actually, that was the opposing side. So I imagine that ward's going to get dewarded pretty damn quickly. If they are actually going to commit a sentry. There is actually one in the hands of Fezor here. But he can't go in for it now. Nemiga moving themselves aggressively across the river. I don't think they actually see each other just yet. Come on, not having the vision next to the trees. So no one actually ends up bumping into each other. Everyone's going to go their own separate ways. It looks like both teams are just going to settle for a 2-for-2 trade on the bounties. No one ever bothering go for like any big first blood fights anymore. It's not worth it. Not worth the risk. Maybe if you have like an absolutely ridiculous first blood potential team, just tons of CC and damage, then it may be worth it. Maybe not. Loading. Is he going to get this? He does. Even blocks the camp and gets the kill onto the ward. Nice little fucking 2-for-1 there. Meanwhile, Fezor does get the block onto the camp itself, but he was actually tracked by the observer ward here, by the stairs, so that will get dewarded relatively quickly. Imagine, is there actually a... Yeah, sentry ward already coming out there for Einkrad, so he's going to be able to get his camp back online. He'll probably have to be after the first minute, though, because I don't think it's actually going to get there in time for that. But we'll see how he's actually going to fare in the early parts of this lane. Obviously, despite the fact that Einkrad can disengage with the swashbuckle to avoid a lot of damage, he's still just... I don't think he's going to have that great of a time either way. Every single time he gets close to the creep wave, Magic Push is just going to be able to get a load of stacks on top of him, bully him out, force him to reset. I mean, one of the nice things about playing up against the Bat Rider in the mid is that you've got so much free regen. But like this, it's been a minute and he's already got 10 charges on his wand, already upgraded it to the full version as well. So he's really going to capitalize on that free HP and mana.
Somewhere, someone lays blame.
Actually, already, I'm quite surprised Minecraft's got double the CS of Magic Push already. Jesus. This man's just on it today. I think he's taking a bit of damage in return, though. Hasn't actually got his bottle out because he committed in for the early Magic Wand. So he is going to... I don't think he's going to be able to get his bottle in time for the 2-minute water runes to get that free extra refill. Magic Kush will, though. Oh, he used his swashbuckle aggressively to get the last hit. And he takes a bit of wax there from Magic Kush. But with that stick, 20 charges. Back up to full mana and half HP. And then he'll probably go and secure the water rune as well. Just to give him that extra chunk. Even though water runes were nerfed, so they don't even give that much resources now, do they? It's like 75 HP? It's really negligible.
The quest for ultimate glory continues.
I mean, already at the start, all 3 cores on the side of Nemiga are at the top of the CS. The other 2, not like there's that much of a lead, but Einkrad definitely doing a fantastic job in this mid lane. How much is it? It's 40 health and 80 mana, even worse. Actually, I end up missing that, but down bottom, the first one found from Nemiga, taking down Fezor. Also going into the hands of the Shadow Demon, which is always just the nice thing about Shadow Demon in the early parts of this game. The Shadow Poison stacks can just do so much work. It's really scary. Maybe... Yeah, Heavenly Grace was already on cooldown, so he couldn't just purge away the stacks, I guess. Just use it at the wrong time. So you're always got to be careful. You got to keep that online. You just never know when like there's going to be a load of Shadow Poison stacks as well as the Jingu stacks coming out. Actually takes a bit of a wax at the top lane as well. But even still, Kirit's just sort of farming away. Got similar CS so far to his opposing position 1 of combat. So neither one particularly getting a big lead at the moment. But still, just this lead for Einkrad. It's massive. 21-2. And Magic Kush is only 10-2. He's got double the CS. And he's a melee hero versus a Bat Rider. And look, Magic Kush has got like hardly any HP or mana left. Either it's just Einkrad knows this matchup really well and he's just that good at playing against the Bat. Or it's the fact that he is a Grandmaster and he just plays so much Pango. It doesn't matter who he lanes up against. He can just dominate. Either way, fantastic showing so far. We'll see if he's going to be able to keep this advantage as this carries on. He gets a bit of it free damage there onto Magic Kush. I thought maybe he might have thought of going for an aggressive move with the swashbuckle there because he got pretty low, but did decide against it. Didn't want to end up committing too hard and end up just throwing his life away. I think he probably knows that he's got the lead at the moment, so he doesn't feel pressured to try and make any sort of crazy play to gain a further lead. Just carry on doing what he's doing. So the Shadow Demon does manage to get the little grab there onto Fezzel's courier. Always nice. Okay, just pops in, pops out, does a chunk of damage. And I think the reason why he's doing so well is the mana cost on these skills is so ridiculously low. It's crazy. Only 80 mana and 90 mana. So 170 to do your whole combo. And that is a fair chunk of guaranteed damage. Magickush is actually getting aggressive here. Oh, he cancelled his swashbuckle mid-flight. Ironclad, I think he's just dead here. He's already used his stick. Magickush actually getting the kill. He will die to the tower. That was a weird little server lag. It just completely froze. Magickush does die for it, but, I mean, he's perfectly happy with that. He got the solo experience. He got the extra chunk of money as well. He does still give away 170 to Ironclad, but 100% worth it at the end of the day. Especially seems how he was actually one that was falling behind quite a bit. So a good turnaround. Talking about turnarounds, loading. He does get stunned, takes a few hits. One final right click coming in from the line. It's enough damage, and down he goes as well. So even Qwerty gaining a nice little trade at the top lane. Taking down the Abaddon. And even Iru's actually doing pretty nicely himself. Got tons of denies. 20 and 10 right now. Definitely going to limit some of the experience flowing into Kirich. Which is always nice if you can upset the experience balance, keep your own position one just that slightly more powerful. You always feel a bit more comfortable when they're forced into those fights. But talking about the mid, Magickush went again, going for an aggressive ball here. Ironclad does manage to get his ult off and going for the roll away. He bounced off the wall. Magickush is still just hugging the side. Even still, Ironclad's just too damn quick. He should be able to get himself out of this. The Firefly about to run out here from Magickush as well. I don't know why he's still chasing. There's no way you're going to get this. I mean, that would have been a really fantastic trade if he just stayed by the lane and actually probably secured a few extra CS for it. Even still, it wasn't too bad. It does push Ironclad away. If he found that kill as well, that would have been fantastic. Because Ironclad would have died with his TP on cooldown. Does manage to come back and just grab the rune as well.
Visibility.
Fezzel does a bit of damage onto the Shadow Demon, but not too much. Still come up, just happily farming away. Not really feeling too pressured out at the moment here from the Chosen One. Obviously, with Fezzel always going to be by his sides, it is kind of difficult to bully him out too bad. And how's the actual CS chart looking from this though? So the Gyro's on 2.7. He's actually 300 gold over the top of the Slark at this point, which is kind of surprising when there's only 3 CS difference. I guess it's just the amount of gold that's been spent on regen in the lane. I suppose the Gyro can actually just rely on the heals coming out from Fezzel. Doesn't have to worry about buying those resources as much. So it would definitely build up a slight lead for him. And even still, just the net worth difference between the mid. Despite the fact that the Bat managed to get that solo kill and push him out the lane, it's still about 500 gold behind. It's not like the end of the world. 500 gold can easily be overcome. But even still, at 7.5 minutes in, 500 gold can transmute into like a full minor item. And those sort of minor power buffs can actually make the difference at the end of the day. But still, this looks like Magickush going for the standard build, straight up in for the bots. Nothing too out of the ordinary there. Meanwhile, Ironclad going in for the Maelstrom. And again, pretty standard. No one bringing anything new to the table this game. Another pause, though. There's too many pauses this game. I wonder if someone's gone to the toilet yet again. And they said disconnect. Oh, from Discord? Alright, okay. Gotta need those comms. Actually, I actually experienced a couple of moments where this server's lagged as well. Seems kind of weird. Seems fishy. Maybe there's something going... Well, actually, I was going to say maybe there's something going on with the Dota client, but that wouldn't affect Discord, would it? Of course it wouldn't. You're a silly man for even thinking such a thing. Well, it looks like Aru's probably got his completed Helmet of Dominator. Yeah, he's got it now coming out onto the courier. So then he's just got to buy the recipe now, which I think is actually quite a lot. It's like 1,700, something like that. Oh no, 1,250. I think it was 1,000, wasn't it? But it got bumped up 250 actually in the previous like B patch. So another 1,200 gold, and he'll have that online. And then we'll start to see some ancients running around with him, and then just using them to split push the map and ramp up his own farm. Gonna be looking to see if you can get a decent creep as well with the first grab. Obviously, there's already a nice few stacks been made from Petru here in the triangle. So he's going to have his little pick of the litter about which one he wants to go for. I'm sure he'd prefer to get a Centaur if possible. Maybe Petru might get lucky with this next stack and get him the creep he's actually going to want. We'll see. Oh, see that? Down bot. Some action going on. Also in the jungle, Uncrad popping his ultimate because they actually saw Iroh coming into the jungle. I think he wanted to... Actually, I'm not sure what he's doing here just yet. I thought maybe he wanted to go grab a creep, but he didn't even have his helm yet. I mean, it was coming out on the courier, so it was going to be there in a second. But even still, he went very aggressively into the jungle, and unfortunately for him, moves directly underneath an observer ward. So, first bit of kill involvement there from Minecraft. Does secure them the kill onto the Lycan, which is pretty nice. Petru, with the haste as well. They think about diving onto the tier 1 tower for this, but the TP coming in from the Abaddon quickly makes them change their minds. I mean, if Magikush got the connection on that Molotov, pulled him back towards him, they probably could have got that kill then, but Minecraft was just on it with the swashbuckle. Immediately gets himself out of there.
This is gonna sting. This is gonna sting.
Looks like I chose one as well. Going for a standard Monkey King build this game with the Echo Saber. So despite the fact that he is coming in from the position 3 role, he's just going to be playing as a normal Monkey King this game. Not going to try and go for some sort of support utility build. And another little weird server lag. This is so strange. What's going on? I hope it's not my connection to the server which is janky, and it is actually the server. I've had enough problems with me being the main cause of issue here. Oh, he does actually... Oh, he actually goes for the tomato creep instead, rather than for the Centaur. Kind of interesting. I guess he just wants the damage output to help ramp up his farming speed a bit more than the actual stun utility. I suppose at this stage, he's not looking to actually get any kills. Just wants the extra burst of gold, so when he gets to the point, he can get the Helmet Overlord finished, which is about 600 gold away. So he'll probably have it up online at about the 11-minute mark, 10.5 minutes, something like that. Meanwhile, though, it looks like Nemiga, the two supports, move themselves into the triangle, and they actually find both of these massive stacks here. Aincrad's coming over to farm it. The Magicus has actually come over himself. He chops the Molotov. He doesn't realise there's a few members of Nemiga here. Even with the disruption leading things up with the roll-up from Aincrad, there's no way Magicus can escape from this. Triple connection from the roll. Stun lock to hell. And now we'll see if Nemiga might be able to try and take these stacks. Actually, Iroh has got involved himself with the transformation. They want to force Nemiga away. They can't let these stacks get taken away for free. They do secure basically the entirety of the small creep stack. There is still this quad on the Ancients left to contest. Is Nemiga going to commit more heroes to try and secure this? It looks like they're actually just going to be forced to fall back here from Qwerty. As Qwerty have actually pulled 4 heroes themselves into the area to try and defend it. And Comma probably going to look to take the stack now before Nemiga can reorganize and try and contest it yet again. He has got the cooldown with max points into flat cannon, so he's definitely got the right skills to take this. I mean, his damage output is slightly lacking. So maybe he's actually going to wait till he finishes Chrysalis. Maybe, yeah, once he has that, 50 gold. He'll have the crit opportunity then, which should help actually deal with the creeps a little bit better. Oh, unfortunately, doesn't even get the stack there. Would have been close. Well, the chosen one actually rotating up to the top. I think he just got the spot there onto Iroh. He's immediately going to go onto him. And there's no actual transformation for another minute here, so this Lycan has no opportunity to escape. Even Kieran trying to get closer there with the pig out. And yeah, this is free food. Down goes the Lycan. I think that's now 3 permanent actually online for the Slark. 11 minutes in. Also doing very nicely in terms of net worth. All 3 calls on the side of Nemiga at the top. A full 3k gold advantage as well. And there's not even been like a dump load of kills. Only 5 to 2. So it's just this superior bit of like CS and map control really. Magicus was actually able to successfully cure the Ancient stack. So not wanting to give the money over to the Gyro, does just take it up for himself. But I mean, he does complete his bots as well as the Ogre Axe towards his BKB. So he's got a decent chunk of acceleration. Yeah, just like that, he does put himself in the 2nd spot.
Precious bounty.
So it just depends if he's actually able to do anything with this extra chunk of gold. He's probably going to look to try and make some stuff happen as soon as that BKB is online. But he's still a couple of thousand gold away from it. You know what, Eru? Oh, actually, yeah, I completely forgot that he had to get the Vladimirs first. I was just thinking that he was only 1,200 gold away from the Overlord with the recipe, but yeah. Still get the Vlads, and then it's another 1,200 gold. So, Still a little bit away from it. And he's actually bottom of the cores as well. It's not quite the spot he would like to be in. Oh, runs into the Abaddon here. He does have a spare point to chuck into his ultimate if he needs to. But the Rolling Thunder from Minecraft just to try and save their creeps, but it doesn't matter. Magicus has already secured him up. Now we think about slowing on to Lodine, but the Demonic Purge coming out there, slow Magicus down to a cruel. Minecraft though just going to disengage. They don't want to stick around. And Lodine just going for the TP out. But there is going to be the Flame and Lasso to stop the escape. And this will just be a kill onto the Abaddon. Actually, Disruption's making the way for this. Meanwhile, up top, they do actually find a kill onto Comart. So Kirich and the Chosen One, I mean, sure, they use all that distraction. They find a much more favourable kill. Ironclad even dived in. They want to keep this tier 1 tower alive. And they just carry on pushing forwards. He's just staying on top of this bat. It does have Firefly up in just a second. And it looks like they will manage to disengage. Actually, Kirich is getting involved yet again. Forces the ultimate out from the Omni Knight. And then he'll just walk back. No sort of ways that Qwerty could try and punish that. Actually, the Chosen One just gets a solo kill as well onto Petru. And now it's a solid 5k gold lead into their advantage. And the only kill that they were able to get out of that entire engagement was the position 5 Abaddon. And even that took an extremely long time. So it just feels like Qwerty not really finding the correct move so far in this game. I'm not sure what like their big power spike that they're going to have to wait for is. I mean, the Helm of the Overlord, it'll help, but really it'll only help the Lycan just progress his own game with like cutting the creep waves and such. It's not going to have that big of a game impact for him. Comart does have his Chrysalis online, but again, it's a very minor-esque item. Can't quite take big fights with that as of yet. Maybe once he gets this Axe online, he can, but he's still like 3,000 gold away from that. And they've just found him yet again, farming up. Demonic Purge to lead things off, and Crab with a couple of right clicks. And they will just find that kill for free. So another death for this Gyro, who's now... He's only 1,000 gold behind the Slark, but even still, just a lead that... a rift that's just going to carry on getting bigger. Petru TPing down to the pot, but he just TPs right next towards both of the members of Nemiga here. And they should just settle for an easy kill. Magicus even TPs in himself to try and help out Petru. He's probably going to hit by one more stun. Pop of the Shadow Poison. Oh, he survives with 1 HP. Oh, never mind. He actually gets hit by the creep, which gets the finish. Magicus even out getting targeted up. He will just pop the Flame and Lasso to try and keep himself alive. They're even going to turn around to try and do some damage. Iclad's getting pretty low. He's got another Swashbuckle up in a second. He misses the damage. They don't get a connection. Another server lag. But I think Ironclad will still get ran down here. Even with 5 Shadow Poison stacked, they do get the return kill there for the Shadow Demon. And even Kirich will get the kill onto the Omni Knight as well. So they actually ends up being a 2-for-1 trade in their favour. Actually 3-for-1 because the Lion also died. I mean, they do manage to find the top net worth hero in the game though. Which, yeah, gave 4,467 gold towards the bat. But then even he gave away 330 towards the Shadow Demon. But even still, I don't think he's too mad about that. But even still, 3-for-1 trade is never going to be favourable. No matter who dies. He's still just trying to build that BKB. About 1,100 gold away. Chosen One, he's got his BKB queued up next. I think he's got the Ogre Axe coming out in the courier now. And then he's got the... Okay, going in for the Nullifier as well. Which would definitely help for the Heavenly Grace coming out from the Omni Knight, as well as his ultimate. Constantly keep those at bay. Even the Firefly from the Bat Rider to completely stop that from happening. Yeah, it's a nice item to grab this game. Especially seems like he can't afford it. It seems like he's only position 3. If he was like the main carry of the team, might have been a little bit too greedy to go for that. And yeah, it looks like the Bat's just been caught out yet again here. Easy kill, given over towards Kirich of all players. Now on +6 permanent Agi as well. Just got a Shadow Blade even finished up. With an immediate smoke. They can head over here, and immediately Kirich bumps straight into Fezor. He does have his ultimate to pop. Just going to start off with the Heavenly Grace and the heal. Going to go for the TP out. Oh yeah, the Shadow Demon was pumping the disruption, but luckily there was enough damage. They didn't need to do it. Chosen One, he chops his Wukong's command up top, but everyone was miles away. They do not get the connection. They're thinking about starting up onto the Abaddon, but he's got his ultimate. And meanwhile, this is all wasted time for Nemiga to get over here. Now start the re-engagement. Kirich immediately on top of the Gyro with the stun. Down he goes as well. Eru's going to try and commit to get the kill onto the Abaddon. The disruptor's there to keep him alive for now. Einkrad even getting the finish onto Petru. Lodine, he's probably going to survive this. Yeah, the smoker keeps him alive. Eru just running around. The Chosen One's right next to him. I think he's probably going to be able to get himself out of this. Quarter of the duration left of his transformation hiding the trees. He's going for the TP. Never mind. He isn't going to escape. This is another kill for Nemiga. This game is starting to get really out of hand now. 4-16, but a 9k gold advantage. The 3 cores on the side of Nemiga have not left the top 3 net worth for an extremely long time. There was a brief point where Magikush got himself in there, but he just immediately started dying again. And yeah, he just got bumped back down. Oh, talking about Magikush dying again. And it looks like he's going to die again once more on the bottom. They are just falling apart at the seams here in this game. Where is their glimmer of hope? Which hero can they rely on to turn this game around? I just don't think there is one. I mean, look at this. The Gyro and the Lycan have barely any more net worth than the position 4 on the side of Nemiga. Oh, Qwerty, Jesus Christ, look at that damage! He just shreds the line with only a few hits. And all the purge as well to remove all the CC. Keeps him going. More server lagging as well. Luckily, no one else dies, but, I mean, yeah. You're going to see there is no way that Qwerty can respond. Like, the only way to keep the Lion alive in that situation would be to drop the Omnilate ultimate, but that would just seem like such a massive waste just to keep your position 4 alive. I don't know, man. I don't know. Like, cause they don't even have any like big teamfight ultimates they can rely on to turn this game around. Like, say if the Lycan was a tide, you could possibly get a massive Ravage into the cooldown with the damage coming out from the Gyro and the Bat, but they have absolutely nothing like that. Yeah, I'm not feeling hopeful, boys. I'm not feeling hopeful. I think it's just a matter of time before Nemiga whittle them away and just take this game number 1. But, I mean, you can't write them off completely. What does Gaben even say? Okay, Gaben's giving him a 3% chance here, which isn't terrible. I mean, it's terrible. It is terrible, but it's not unwinnable. We see. I'm pretty sure there's been like 100% win chance games which have actually turned around as well. But they have got to that 3%, boys. 3%. If you're a gambling man, sometimes you want to take those odds. Can have big payouts. It looks like Nemiga coming in for another fight here. The stun immediately leading off. Komar gets locked down. Fezzle does get his ult off though. It's going to keep him alive for a little bit of time. But it doesn't matter. Just the roller for Michael. Actually jumps over Komar. Doesn't get the other connection. They're going to try and turn it around with the cooldown. But it's not much sustain. He's still going to end up dying here. 2 dropped. They want to buy back from the Omni. They want to get involved. Eru trying to focus onto the supports if he can. Looks like the Shadow Demon will finally fall down. The Chosen One guts his Jingus off, trying to stand toe-to-toe against Magikush, who pops his BKB, but the Purge comes out from the Abaddon. He can't even keep the Flame and Lasso on for long. And now Eru tries to do some damage, but has to just run away. Qwerty keeping chase as well onto the Bat Rider with the slows. Is he not going to be able to get it? The saves from Fezzle keeps him back, and he will survive. Eru going for the TP out. No stuns available, so he will manage to escape. And Qwerty's not even going to get the +1 as well onto the Omni Knight. So I think it's... I think 3 people died for Qwerty, and Nemiga only lost the Shadow Demon. There's no fight recap to actually tell me. But I'm pretty sure the Gyro, the Lion, and the Omni died. The Omni even bought back for it. So again, just more victories into the favour of Nemiga, and it looks like they're going to try and take the Roche now. I mean, there's no reason they can't. Every single of the ultimates on the side of Qwerty are on cooldown now. They have absolutely nothing to play around. All their BKBs will be on cooldown. Well, actually, I say they're 1 BKB. And now it's just going to be Aegis into the hands of Nemiga. Actually, I say that. But Qwerty are in the area. They want to try and stop this if they can, but they need to hurry up. Roche is solo. They pushed out a couple of them. But even still, Roche will fall. Qwerty able to grab the Aegis. And now Qwerty on the retreat. Einkrad's going to find the grab there onto the Lion. Qwerty on the hunt for somebody else. Magikush keeps himself alive behind on the top of the cliff there.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Now it just feels like Nemiga, all they could do, or all they need to do, is just constantly keep grouped up as a 5, just take all the towers. As soon as all the tier 2s are gone, go high ground. And yeah, I just don't think there's much that Qwerty can do to stop it. I mean, maybe if they get like the dream initiation off.
Tower is under attack.
Then even still, even if you get some crazy initiation, you get the Flame and Lasso onto the slot before he can get his Dark Pact off and try and pull him back. There's still going to be the Abaddon the Shadow Demon to just derail those plans. And actually talking about that, Eru, he pops Zulma to try and disengage. Magicka just going for the BKB TP out. He will survive. But the disruption there from the Shadow Demon, keeping Eru at bay. He's still going to be able to disengage from this. Meanwhile, the Chosen One actually just ends up getting a solo kill onto Fezler up top. He might end up dying to this though, he's super low. Combat wants to get involved, but the Wukongs keeps him at bay. And now the Chosen One, oh my god. He just 3 hits the line, takes it down. Eru even gets caught from Minecraft at the bot. 3 heroes, 3 deaths across the board. And GG actually gets called. Nemiga, they just take it.
Balance the fight.
Yeah, Qwerty, they just feel there's no way they could bring that game back, and I feel their pain. I didn't see a way they could turn that game around. And yeah, they just tap out. They don't want to delay this inevitable even more. So a 23-minute victory there for Nemiga, 25-5, 16k gold advantage as well. Fantastic showing there from them. And yeah, now only one game away from taking this best of 3 series, giving themselves those extra bit of points towards the league. And I mean, it's sort of the outcome that people are going to expect, because Qwerty have not been performing that well so far in this tournament. So unfortunately for them, they do drop another one. Maybe they could bounce back, think of something else for this game number 2, make it a bit more of a showing. That would be nice. This is bigger massacre than last TI finals. It was pretty rough, wasn't it? Hopefully game number 2 is a little bit more even, but even still. But yeah, if you guys have enjoyed this cast, please think about following me on my Twitch, Twitter, my YouTube. Any help I get, I thoroughly appreciate. And game number 2 will be coming up pretty soon, so stick around and wait for that one.